Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Siem Reap. And as you can see behind me is a massive, massive temple. We're going to take a look at Pre-Rup. I think is how you say it, Pre-Rup or Pre-Rup, however it is. This is a 10th century Khmer temple, and we're going to walk around here and we're going to see some of the styling. It's quite cool. The bricks they use, the walls are just absolutely gigantic. So let's walk through here and let's have a good time. You can see the condition of the outer wall. It's the laterite wall, and then it has all of these prongs all through it. And it has an upper level that you can see there in the middle. Now this is part of the Angkor temple tour, and right now it's like $62 for a 3-day pass or $72 for a 7-day pass. The 7-day, if you're here that long, it's a little bit better value. So let's walk up through here. We'll go in the east entrance and we'll take a look. So you can see right here, the wall is got a hole in it, but just take a look at the size of these laterite stones. And this is the perimeter wall. This isn't even a load-bearing wall. And it's, I don't know how tall it is. It's like 3 meters tall. And then it has like a little bit of styling right up on the top where they carve those stones. And they're doing a little bit of restoration here. This little prong is kind of kiltered to the left, but you see all the entrances are to the east. That's typical. And then it has the fake doorways on the other 3 cardinal directions. But these stones are just absolutely massive. I would not want to have carved them, hauled them, or anything else. You can see the outer wall right here. Okay, so we'll go in the east entrance that's right here. Now, when you come up, you park. All these like temples will have a little parking place, and then they'll have souvenirs and stuff like that. And I was just talking to one lady over here, and she was trying to sell me a cold drink, and then her little daughter came running over. So it was kind of cute, but she's talking that the tourists still haven't recovered from the pre-lockdown days. So she's hoping maybe next month, when the rainy season ends, the tourists will come back. This is the entrance here. So you can see they used a combination of the laterite stones, and then they used the brick. And then you can see like the colonnades. Hello, boys. Hello. Got some impromptu actors. So you see here, they would have had some statues here by the entrance. And then you can see the stone archway and the colonnades. And this would have been all covered over the entrance. And then you can see some of the prongs over there. And then the same over here. Okay, so this is inside. So you can see the styling in the stones. So they put this wood down here to make it a little easier to get in here. And then over here, this is one of the lintels. So this would have been over the top of the door. So you can see the little figures that are carved into it. So this would have been all one stone. So if you can imagine lifting that stone up here, it would have been, that itself would have been an undertaking. They had ways, I'm sure they had little block and tackle systems to make life a little easier, but still, it's just heavy. And they got all the kids. All right, so this is the inner part here of Pre-Rup. So you can see over here, this is the base. And then it has the smaller prongs all around the outside. And then they have, looks like the partially restoration here. So they have some lintels and all that here sitting on some of this laterite stones. But just to give you an idea, I'll show you something here. You can see, we'll go up here towards the wall. So this is me, and you can see how far above my head that wall is. This is just absolutely massive. And they hauled all these laterite stones in. All of those that we saw on the wall, that's what makes up this whole temple here. So it is just absolutely massive. And they hauled the stones in up above it. So let's go up these steps and let's go in here and look. So right there is all under renovation. And you can see over here kind of that side of the prong. That looks like it's been renovated also. But the top of it is just open. The bricks are all gone. Let's look in one of these if we can. Here we go. You can see the stairwell is in pretty bad shape. But I think we could stick our head in this. So this is what's inside of here. So it would have had an image right there. And then you can see the carvings in that. This looks like it's all been recently restored right here, with the use of, if possible, of the old existing stones. And you can see the basin here is the laterite stones. Yeah, this is quite cool. Okay, so let's go up into the inner part here of pre-rup. Okay, so this is quite cool. You can see on that lintel, you see the 3 elephants right there, like the Erawan. And that sun is just kind of coming through here, so it might make things a little tough to see. So they put a wooden walkway so it's a little easier to get in here. I mean, I couldn't even imagine being like an oldster trying to get up in here, because these stairs are not handicap accessible at all. Oh, wow. So they would have had a small little building here, and it's just mainly down to the base. You can see a little bit of the doorway and some of that. And then same on this side. So these might have been 2 libraries that were right in here. And then you have some smaller prongs. And then when we get up to the pedestal, there'll be 5 prongs, the one in the center and then the 4 on the 4 cardinal directions. So they would have had these like columns that would have been right here on the walkway as you went up the steps. And I don't know what this was. I don't know if this would have held water or what. Maybe like you get purified before you go up to the top. But oh, this is amazing. And then you can see the figures, those little lions across the top. Oh, that's cool. So it would have had how many of these? 4 of these prongs across the front. Oh, would have been 6. There would have been 6 of these here. There's 3 on one side and 2 of the other. This one is completely gone. And then this little building here. So this would have been all covered. It would have had like an arched roof, and you would have went inside of here. Yeah, this is quite cool. All laterite stones with a little bit of the brick here in the front. So these prongs here don't have an entrance on the east. The other ones are open here, but this one does not. It has the steps. That's why I say there are always these faux doorways, just to make it look like a door, but they don't really function. So this would have been another little building over here. Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, check this out. Oh, I tell you, I just absolutely love seeing stuff like this. Ah, that is so cool. And it would have had like a lotus blossom or something up on top. Oh man, I just love seeing the stone carvings that the Khmer did. And then inside that would have been probably the Shiva linga. Oh man, that is so cool. And this little building right here would have been like a T-shaped building. So you would have went inside here, and this would have all been covered. And all that's left is just a little bit of the columns here in the front, and then the part that was built onto the wall. And then you have more of the stuff around. But oh man, this is just absolutely gigantic. I mean, this is even bigger here than the one I was on out in front. So there is the camera. And this is me. So if you could imagine carving these stones right here, bringing them in here, stacking them, and then just all these layers up, and then they carved all around here also. Wow, what a colossal undertaking this would have been. I just can't believe how big this place is. So you can see how many different layers. So there's even some that are below the grade also. So they would have dug down, put these bricks in, and then they would have just kept going level after level after level. And then in the middle, they put all this styling in. Oh, this is just absolutely incredible. And you can see how they carved those laterite stones right there. What an amazing feat. Just shows you the power of people when they put their mind together. Oh, this does have an entrance to the west. Ah, so the one on the east is the faux one. Let's look inside of it. And then this is the lintel that was up here above this door. And this one's in really bad shape. So it looks like this was maybe like a Buddha image that was in here, just have the feet. So this would have been Hindu and then converted over into Buddhism. And you can see just a little ray of light up there at the very top. And then these are those little faux windows on each side. All right, so let's go up these stairs to the main part. Just to give you an idea, these are all the laterite stairs. These are actually wider than the first ones I climbed. And then they would have had an image right here on each side of this stairwell as you went up. And there's a lot of stairs here. Then on the third level here of this temple, and we have our first little statue of this lion. And you can look back, and then there's one on the right side also. That is so cool. You can see his tail goes up right behind his head. All right, so we climbed all the way up here, 4 different levels. And that's the view you have. Oh, this is so cool. So they had all these lions that would have been here on all these little pedestals across. There would have been 6 of them. Now they used sandstone up here. They used the laterite stones at the base, and then they put sandstone up here. And there's no access to that center prong, which is a bummer, but we'll see the outside of it. Okay, so you can see they carved the little figures in the corners here. And then you can see that lintel. Now these lintels, the archaeologists have spent a lot of time deciphering them, and they could pretty much date all the story. So they know exactly when they were built and what story it tells. And then here's this little prong. You can see the Buddha image right there, and it really smells like guano in here. So the bats have found a home. And you can see those prongs in the very front. Now they would have had a walkway and some buildings all through there. And then there's the outer wall, and that would have been the entrance. So it came in one door, walked through, then you would have came into the inner wall, and then you would have climbed up here. And they had more of these lions all across here. And then these are the 4 prongs around this platform up here. So it looks like they've recently been working up here to restore this. And then, oh, this is just mind-blowing right here. Okay, so they've braced this up. That's kind of precarious right there. But if that lintel falls, that's at least a ton of stone. So they had the figures carved up there in it also. And then they had 4 lions that you would have climbed up next to. Oh, this is unbelievable. And you see here, this is the south entrance. And then over here is to the west. And you can see these prongs here are open to the east. And then all these smaller ones, I didn't even notice these before, but they have little tiny openings also. And they would have had like a Shiva linga or something like that inside of it, and later on a Buddha image. And then you can see the top of the wall, how it's carved, kind of rounded. Ah, this is unbelievable. It's not a humongous ruin, but this one is very interesting to see. You see here, this is the southwest prong. So that lintel is completely weathered away. It does have the pedestal inside there. And then you can get a good look here at these images. So it's a 3-headed with, looks like 4 arms. Oh, that's cool. And then up here, they would have done all this carving also. This is really weathered, but you can see right here, this had carvings in all of it. Same way with around here, all around this, they would have carved. And this would have probably been like a naga. Oh, and it's just weathered in time. And then we have another lion over here, and this is the west side. Oh, unbelievable. And then we can see off into the jungle. Now, as you look up here, it's hard to imagine right now. You just see trees But looking out here, there would have been houses and canals and other temples. And you have to remember, there was over 1 million people living right here. And right now, all there is jungle. This, at one point, I think, was the largest city in the world. And now it is all abandoned. After they moved the capital from here over to Phnom Penh, you know, there was only a few farmers and stuff that were left in this area. This one right here is the northwest of these little prongs. You can see also that lintel is just pretty rough. This one over here still has a little bit of the carvings in it, and then they're supporting it up again the same as that other one. And these would have been fantastic to see back whenever they were new. Now they just are kind of broken little prongs all around, and a couple more of the lions. And then this is the west entrance here. Yeah, the wall in this temple is in some of the worst condition. So I don't know if they'll shore it up, if they'll kind of leave it like this. I think what's important to them is the restoration of these prongs up here on this platform. But they are doing some work over here, as you can see, just to keep that wall from collapsing down. But I mean, this is 1,100 years old or so. We'll take one more look here at this prong. Yeah, it's just amazing. With the 4 lions on each entrance, and then it has the 4 prongs. Now those are the 4 sacred mountains around Mount Meru. This would have been Mount Meru in the old Hindu religion. And it would have been surrounded by a moat, which would have been like the Sea of Milk. You can see some of the water over there. Yeah, this is amazing. Definitely this one here, if you haven't thought about coming to Pre Rup, it's a small temple, but it is amazing. It's one of the older ones, and it's got some cool styling. Okay, so let's take the wooden stairs down and let's look a little bit at these buildings over here, and then we'll go. You can see some of those little prongs that would have been around here. And then there's the lion. This is literally, they just built a mountain out here out of all these stones. So there would have been images all up here. You can see they put some metal in there to keep those laterite stones from sloughing off, just to keep it restored as much as possible. And this is what one of them looks at. I saw this one over here, and it caught my attention. So let's walk over here to it, and let's take a look at it. Now, there's no guardrails on any of this, so if you fall off, you shouldn't have been standing there close to the edge. And you can see here. So they put all that styling in the bricks also, but it's really weathered. And then inside here is the little place for the little thing of Shiva. And then you can see a small little lintel. This is great. So we're back down over here, and this is the north gate. And then it has some of these smaller little buildings. Lots and lots of stairs. You can see those would have had something up on top of them. That would have been the covered walkway as you went into that little building. And then the laterite stones, and then these little windows here. Those are bigger than you normally see. Mostly they're smaller, but those are large diameter. Whenever I see them, they kind of remind me of like a piece on a chessboard, like the top of like the rooks. Oh, this is cool. All these little tiny buildings. So back in the day, there would have been the priests running around when it was Hindu. The king would have came here. All the people would come over here, do all the ceremonies. And then whenever this became Buddhist, there would have been the monks running around. They would have been doing everything that they do. Oh, this is so amazing. That's going to finish up our video over here at Pre Rup. I can't tell you how exciting this is for me to be able to come over here and see stuff like this. I just love to see all these old buildings. It doesn't matter if it's an old temple or an old house or whatever. If it's in Asia or Europe or America, whatever it is, I just love to see old stuff because it's kind of a testament to what our forebears did. Now, if you can imagine, these guys came out here. This is just jungle. They went up to a mountain. They carved these rocks. They hauled them here and they stacked them up, and then they, you know, did all the detail work with the stone carvings and everything like that. And they just literally spent their whole lives chiseling rock. It's just quite an amazing thing. And they weren't using modern tools. They were using primitive tools, you know, by today's standards. And they didn't have all the modern machinery to help do it. This was all just sweat and muscle. And I just really, really love seeing stuff like this. And if you enjoy it, then smash the like button. If this is your first time to my channel, subscribe, stick around, and you're notified when I post a new video. I'm pretty active, and I show you stuff like this. And you know, I'm not an expert. I just come out here and I walk around and I tell you a little bit about what I know. It's all unscripted, so if you like this is just me, you know, showing you what I see and telling you a little bit about it. So if you like that, stick around, and then you're notified when I post a new video. And leave me a comment. If you've been here before, tell me what you think of this temple. I would really like to know. And from over here in Siem Reap, remember guys, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.